welcome back into episode 3 of Beers and Ball. I have a special guest with us today, Geoff. Thank you for coming by.
Eddie, I'm doing great, man. And by the way, I'm not a big beer drinker. I'm more of a whiskey guy.
Yeah,
but
that's okay.
I know you. I know the name of the show. I'll oblige today, buddy.
There we go. Cheers to Geoff. Well, Geoff, I know. Oh, of course. And I
appreciate you having me, man. I'm excited. I haven't seen you in a long time.
It's been a while. Well, Geoff, why don't you tell the people that are watching where they can find your podcast that you do?
Yeah, so it's called Pathetic, the podcast. You could find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. I think we have a TikTok now, which I'm not. I don't get involved in that, but yeah, it's called Pathetic, the podcast. I think it's at Pathetic, the podcast on every platform.
That's an absolute wonderful name, Pathetic Podcast.
Especially with our sports teams in New York, we're actually going on day 5,000 since we won a championship, which is crazy. And this is for all New York sports teams, not just the Giants.
Well, I mean, which New York baseball team are you a fan of? You a Mets or Yankees?
Just got knocked out.
Ugh.
Yeah, they just got knocked out. But they're in the playoffs every year, so I can't complain that much. But the expectations for them are high. You know, they're supposed to win the World Series
every year.
They get knocked out of the playoffs. It sucks, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I look at the Yankees as like the standard of like Green Bay in the NFL, where it's like a Super Bowl is expected every year. You know, anything else is just a disappointment. But today we're going to be talking about your New York Giants. I just came off that big win Thursday against those frauds. Eagles?
Getting there.
Well, here's the question the first question I want to ask you is, are the G-men back?
Well, the G-men are back for the last 3 weeks. I could tell you that. I can't promise the future. I can't tell you what's going to happen the rest of the year or next year. Time will tell. But it is amazing what can happen to a team overnight when you find the right quarterback.
Yeah.
Right? And I know you really can't relate to that because you've only had 3 quarterbacks in your life. Really, probably 2.
Really two. Yeah. I mean, I had
Favre
when I was a baby.
Yeah, I mean, you had 2 Hall of Famers, and now you have a kid who's really good in the past, 30 years.
Yeah.
So, this is new territory for us since Eli, really. But I'll tell you, man, look, Brian Burns has been great. I know Cam Scatterbo has been phenomenal, but listen, make no mistake about it, Eddie. This is about the quarterback.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I'm not guaranteeing you that Jaxon Dart's going to win 5 championships, right? You know this as well as anybody. Yeah. When you have a rookie, you're looking for signs, right? That's all you're looking for.
Traits, yep.
And right now, the signs are pointing in the direction that the Giants struck gold with this kid, right? His swagger, the confidence, borderline in cockiness, which I'm okay with. He seems to be a leader. But to me, Eddie, that's just really just the icing, right? The cake is the talent of this kid, right? He's got real talent that I'm a little surprised at. He's got the arm. He's got the accuracy. He's got the awareness in the pocket, which is probably his best trait I've seen so far. But if you watch the game on Thursday, that pass he threw to Theo Johnson when he had 6 guys rushing him. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, right on the sideline.
Man, I mean, he was getting rushed. That was a breakdown by the offensive line. He hung in there, didn't get flustered, and just threw a BB right to Theo Johnson. So
who had a good game himself too. Theo Johnson had a real good game.
He's a player. And look, there's going to be rookie mistakes, man. You saw it with your guy, Jordan Love, even though he was year 5 when he came in. It's still a rookie to me, your first time on the field, right?
Absolutely.
So, you saw the rookie mistakes against the Saints. That's okay. That's going to happen. But overall, the kid has been phenomenal. He really has.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a lot of really good things from him there. That we're going to get into, but for it to be so long that you've probably seen a successful game like this, where it seemed like start to finish, the offense played great, the defense complimented them, and then you also had great special teams plays with those kicks that the Philly dropped. Those 2 special teams play played a big factor in this game. When was the last time you felt that kind of feeling of success that you felt on Thursday, where it's like you had all the odds were against you, nobody said you had a chance in hell, you're without your best receiver in Malik Neighbors, and you're out 2 more other receivers that you didn't have?
Darius Slayton, who's our number 2, and Malik Neighbors, our number 1.
So how did it feel to have that success of overcoming all of those, this team overcoming those odds and going out and putting a good product on the field?
Well, the last time we felt it was probably Brian Dable's first year when the Giants made the playoffs and beat the Vikings in the
Thank
playoffs.
you for that again.
Yeah, I know you like that one. But the Giants have done this over the past decade. 5 bad years, then 1 good year, right? 5 bad years, then a good year. So I was thrilled because, like you said, I mean, everybody was counting us out in that game. I'm not going to lie, I didn't have confidence going up against the Eagles in prime time with a rookie quarterback. But again, when you get the quarterback, it changes the entire team. And I know the Eagles are in a bit of trouble right now. There seems to be a little tension, but the Giants still deserve credit for that game.
Oh, 100%.
Right? Because, I mean, they're missing guys too.
Hey,
Not like it's just the Eagles that are banged up.
Hey, the Giants can only play who's in front of them. I don't care if they're having a divorce in Philly. You still got to go out there and play a football game and execute. Yeah.
Exactly. And they're still the Eagles. There's still like that mental thing with the Giants.
Yeah. It's like the mental hurdle of overcoming. So it's been like, what, 9 years or 9 games since you beat them? Something close to that?
Yeah, I saw the number the other day. It was so disgusting. I wanted to forget about it. But it's the same thing with the Cowboys. Like we never beat them. But I think, with this kid, with Cam Scatterbo, how do you not like Cam Scatterbo?
Oh, I can't wait till we get into talking about that guy. He's fun. I'm excited for you to see if you check out the video. I got my little OBS thing. It's got a cool picture of Jaxon Dart and Cam Scatterbo. I bet you'll like that. So wait, talking about them both, why did it take a quarter of the season to get them on the field?
I think let me just back up too.
Yeah, go ahead.
I agreed with benching him in the beginning of the season because I looked at Dart as a project, right? I wanted him. He was my guy. I wanted in the draft, but I wanted a veteran quarterback, which is why I liked the Russell Wilson move initially, to let him sit. So that's a question for Dable because he should have been aware of this. Like he should have been like, okay, I'm watching this in practice, in training camp. Dart is clearly way better than Russell Wilson. He should have started from the beginning. I'm just a fan who has my opinion. Like I think the Jordan Love way is a great way to go, to sit for a couple years and learn the game. But I think he sat because I'll give you my honest, not a conspiracy. I think it's true. Honestly, I think Brian Dable, the Giants coach, wanted 2 cards to play to save his job. Okay, so what I mean by that, let's say he started Dart right away and Dart was bad. Dable's going to get fired mid-year, right? Now, on the converse, you put Russell Wilson in there, okay? Russell Wilson goes in there. Let's say he sucks, which he wasn't terrible, but he wasn't great. Now you have another card to play if you're Dable. You can start Dart and say, this is my second chance. That's my savior. That's my lifeline, right? So I think that's what Dable was thinking. I think he wanted that lifeline to throw in the water just in case the season wasn't going well.
And it does the same thing with the GM, too.
Same thing.
Yeah, because, I mean, I don't know. People were just yelling for those 2 guys to get fired. So, I mean, I think you're spot on. You're saying exactly what I was thinking, where it's like, well, I can't – if I lose 3 in a row or 3 games, and if I'm 2-3 or whatever the record was, if I go on too many losing games, I got to pull them out at some point. And I think it's so good for that, that owner, too, to get this win. Mara to get a win over Saquon too, like in that relationship there to be like, we won for today.
Yes. And Cam Scatterbo outplayed Saquon Barkley, which makes it even better.
They don't know. I don't know what Philly's doing with Saquon this year. Like it's criminal for him to have 12 carries. That's criminal.
I know. Well, they lost their offensive coordinator, which you're seeing signs.
But they've done it. This is the second coming. You remember last time they lost their OC, they went like they started out I think like 10-0, and then just completely collapsed in the second half. This is building to that when players are already having problems with each other. Vic Fangio's cover 2 defense getting exposed. Everybody knows it, and just moving on from there. So I really liked watching Jaxon Dart. He reminded me of like a 2008, 2009 Aaron Rodgers. And not crowning him as being as good as Aaron Rodgers, but the way he played, the way he moved the pocket, how he was able to place off-platform throws was super, super impressive. So like, were you kind of thinking that the same thing when you were watching him? Like, this is dangerous, but it's fun to watch. It's like dangerous for you, very fun for me. When watching him just keep moving, and then the way he just, I don't know, does he know how to slide?
I don't think he does.
Okay.
I'm convinced.
As long as we know that.
Yeah, either he doesn't know how or he just chooses not to, And like you mentioned, Aaron Rodgers, and I could see a little Rodgers in him with the
release, the release too.
The release for sure. You're right, and his slipperiness in the pocket. Like Aaron in his prime, not really anymore.
No,
but in his prime, yeah, not even close. With you guys, even not with the Jets, just with you guys his whole career, he was able to get out. That's what Dart does very well.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm comparing him to Josh Allen a little bit.
I can see it.
And I'll say the same thing you did. I'm not saying he's Josh Allen yet. But the way he plays, if you remember Josh Allen's first couple of years, he was extremely reckless.
Clusterfuck.
He was fumbling the ball, right? Like Dart did against the Saints. He was like a daredevil out there. But then you know what happens? You come from college, even the SEC. You come from college where, guys are big, but they're not NFL big. You're able to get away with that. When you get a couple of knocks to the head, like Dart did. He's been in the 10th 3 times already, 1 in preseason. You're going to learn. You don't need a coach for that. You're going to realize, oh, damn, I can't just, act like Cam Scatterbo. I got to slide when I need to. And like picking up that extra 2 yards, that's not as important as, being available for next week.
The best ability is availability.
Best abilities. Look at Eli. That's what Eli did his whole career, right?
Yeah, he went 270 games consecutively or something like that? Something just insane.
Yeah, until Ben McAdoo benched him for Geno Smith, ruined his whole.
Well, that's why Ben McAdoo doesn't have a job in the NFL anymore.
That's exactly right. That's right. But yeah, to your point, man, the recklessness. I want that a little bit, bro.
You have to.
Want it.
I don't want a quarterback scared.
Game. Yeah, and look, if that wasn't Eli's game, right? That was Favre's game.
Yep.
Favre was reckless, dude. And if you told Favre, right now, the same thing with Dart. If you told Favre, you need to calm down. You're going to throw interceptions. Don't be so. Not just reckless with your body, but reckless with the ball. Favre wouldn't be the same guy, right? So I want to make sure Dable finds that, happy medium of you got to make sure you stay healthy, but keep that, aggressiveness at the same time.
And I definitely agree with you there. I think if Dayball starts coaching like he was when he was an OC, coaching him like that instead of like trying to manage the entirety, I think because I kind of even seen that shift. Like his relationship with him comparatively to Daniel Jones, Russell Wilson, any other guy that you've had in there. I mean, maybe the Italian guy was kind of close, Donnie DeVito. Me and him got beef.
You don't like Tommy D?
Well, he came in and beat us on. He came in Monday night, like 3 years ago. We beat the Lions and beat the Chiefs. It was supposed to be a nice, easy one, and then Tommy Cutlet starts coming out here throwing around Strombonis and beating our ass.
Dude, you know what? You can't. I'll tell you why you can't get mad at that.
No, I'm not even mad at him for
it. I know. But the Giants were in ruins at that time. You guys were good. So, yes, you should be pissed about the loss, but be like, all right, we'll throw the Giants a little bone. Yeah. That's how I felt after that game.
It was I was okay with it. I mean, I hate Monday night games to begin with, but that one was just like, God, like I wasn't excited for it. Like it's like I can even feel it like in my own self. I'm like, I'm just not excited for this game. And as a fan, if I can't get excited for this game, I don't know how the hell they're going to go out there and play.
You know what that game was, Eddie? And it's kind of similar to what we're seeing with the Giants now, even though Dart is obviously way better than DeVito. If you remember, and I know you're not a Giant fan, but Tommy DeVito kind of lit a spark for that team.
Yes, absolutely he did.
That elevated everybody's game, including the defense, including the coach, including the crowd.
Yeah.
Right? And I think Jaxon Dart, just to a much better degree because of his play, he's doing the same thing to the Giants. The defense got better all of a sudden, right? The coach got better. He's playing aggressive again with Dart. Throwing the ball on 2nd and 1, tricking defenses. The owner is excited. The GM is excited.
Everybody's excited.
Everybody elevates their game.
And that's what you want your quarterback to do. Your quarterback is the lifeline of your entire franchise, fan base, everything. If you got for me, that's Jordan Love for me. Because he's wild sometimes, but I know he will set up and launch that SOB down the field in no fear because he knows he's confident in himself, and I think Jaxon Dart's very confident in his ability. That's why he's been able to play as well as he is because he's one, he doesn't have to worry about getting benched. That's rule number 1 of confident quarterback play is make sure your guy doesn't fear being benched. Or you're just going to ruin him like the Panthers did with Bryce Young. Just ruin him,
That's right.
And he's playing, and he's exuding through him, through Cam, and what what a world you could be living in right now if Malik Neighbors was on the field.
Man, we can make a run with him.
Yeah, I mean, you got excitement for. I mean, you still got this whole year, but you always have that thing in the back of your head for next year. Like, if this continues, this trajectory continues, that offense is going to be something next year. Or to talk about, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say real quick, if the Giants didn't have such a brutal schedule ahead, they can make a run. But they're playing the Lions, they're playing the Eagles again, and I know they beat them, but it's still the Eagles. If you look at the Giants' schedule, it's a nightmare. You know, it really is. It's going to be hard to make the playoffs. But you're right. You know, next year, the Giants should be set up for success.
Yeah, I think so. And talking about Scatabo,
I love that guy.
And because I was watching, I'm like, you know who this guy reminds me of? Cover of Madden 10, Peyton Hillis. Yeah. Not just because he's a white guy. We're playing running back. I mean, we got Christian McCaffrey. Yeah. Not weird, but then I was like looking back. I was like, Peyton Hillis played for the Giants. Wore the same number.
Mm-hmm.
Is this is this an homage to Peyton Hillis with the number of 44? Or did he wear that in college?
He did wear 44 in college. I'm like 90% sure. We could double check that. But he reminds me of three things: Peyton Hillis, Mike Allstott.
Oh yeah,
he may be too young.
No, I know. Allstott, I know Mike.
Okay, good. And a bowling ball. Like, dude,
the last one got me. He is.
I mean, seriously, man. Like it's crazy how this guy plays. And listen, I thought he should have been in the first round, and I thought that when I watched him in college.
Yeah.
If you watch that playoff game he had with Arizona State, that was one of the best games in college history.
He elevated that entire program too. Without him, that program doesn't even sniff a college football playoff, let alone be in a competitive game against Texas.
Yeah. And listen, I thought worst case he was second-round talent, and we ended up getting him in the fourth, Eddie, which is an absolute steal for that guy. So we got him for a bargain. Love the way he runs. It's old school, man. It's old school style of football, and you and I can appreciate that.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
Right?
In the winter, New York Winners?
Great. That's actually, dude, no, really, man, that's actually a good point. And you know that with the Packers. You need that tough brute.
That's how you need that to win playoff games. You don't win playoff games throwing the ball. You win playoff games by having a dominant running game and being able to pass off of it. I mean, it's very few and far between we see teams actually outside of the Chiefs that had success like just throwing it 45 times a game to like win in the playoffs. But that's not the historical metric of how a good team wins playoff games. So we're done with the offense. So we're going to take us a nice little first beer break of the episode. So put it up. Have a nice cheers. Cheers to you, Jeff. Thanks for coming on.
Cheers, buddy. My pleasure.
All right, and then now we're going to move over to that daunting defense that I think they can be. I don't know if they are yet metric-wise, but they have all the tools. And I want to start with the elite front. What have you, since we're 5 weeks or going into 6 weeks of the season, how do you grade your front four and your edge rushers and getting pressure?
B-, and it would have been an A+ if Abdul Carter was Abdul Carter the Abdul Carter we hope he's going to be. He's been okay, right? But if you hear the analysis from the pundits and even me too of Abdul Carter, he's just there right now, right? You see him every now and then. He has a slight impact, but he's not getting the sacks yet. I don't think they're utilizing him correctly. But I'll tell you this, Brian Burns
Stud.
He's on pace to be Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
He'll never be MVP because defensive guys don't get that.
It's a quarterback award.
Quarterback award, but he has been absolutely phenomenal. He has 7 sacks, which is insane. I mean, that's crazy for the first, quarter of the year.
Aiden Hutchinson was on that track before he broke his leg last year. Kind of like same trajectory. I mean, what is he on pace for 28 and 29 sacks? I mean, that'd break a record.
Unbelievable. But I think Abdul Carter's helping him too, because I think people are focusing on Dexter Lawrence and Abdul Carter and Kayvon Thibodeau, which is ultimately opening up a lane.
So many guys
for Thibodeau, and pretty soon what's going to happen? I'm sorry for Burns. So what's going to happen eventually is they're going to start focusing on Burns, and Abdul Carter is going to get his shots.
Burns needs the Micah Parsons and Myles Garrett treatment, the doubles and triple teams to really open up everybody else.
He's that good, and
he is.
He was good last year. He was a little banged up, but this year he's showing why, we got him. And listen, we don't get him unless we trade Barkley, right?
Yep.
We had money for him at that point, which is why I agree with the Barkley trade. or Barkley
not paying
signing
him.
him.
Yeah.
And Burns has been great. And look at the defensive backs, too. I mean, they're young kids, and they're doing okay.
Yeah.
Which is, by the way, for a defensive back, and you know this, too, man. It's like that's the hardest position to transition from college to the NFL.
Yes.
Now you're covering professional receivers, right?
You went from accountants to professionals.
That's right. That's right. They're getting burnt every now and then, but hell, that interception was
that
huge.
was it. I remember talking about that interception. I saw Kurt Warner's had a little breakdown on it, and because they were talking about how that pass should have gone to AJ Brown because it looked like he was open on a post route, and he's talking about it's cover zero. You throw it to that edge, and Jalen Hurts is not that as a quarterback yet. He's not. He's not gonna sit. When he gets the play call in, he has 2 reads. The only time he takes more than 2 reads is when he has 25 minutes in the pocket to sit around and look at everything. But when he snap throws it, that was just, what was his name? Flute?
Cordell Flott.
Flott. Oh, that was. I mean, I ding him for not scoring.
I know. And getting tackled. I think Barkley.
Yeah.
Barkley knocked him out of bounds.
Yeah, I think from because I try and watch all the games that I can, especially the condensed version with the Sunday ticket. But because I watched it intently on the Giants game, and what I can kind of tell from this week in the past weeks is that what's giving Brian Burns so much success is that you're not getting blown out like you were last year. By the middle of the game, everything's one-score game, so that's allowing him to continue the pass rush, especially when you're winning. It's allowing him to get off, so he's not having to play the run, because you don't want him to play the run. I mean, I'm sure he's great and fine in the run, but you want him going after the quarterback. You want his ears pinned, going right at him, and they went against one of the best offensive lines in football. I mean, as bad as the offensive line play has been from almost every team this year, that's the most formidable one, and he still had 2 sacks, 1 sack. Sack and a half. I think I know he got him once at least.
Yeah, he got 1. He might have had 2.
I thought he had 2.
Yeah, I think he did. But yes, so that offensive line is great. You're right. And there were times during that game where Hurts had 5 minutes to throw. I mean, it was.
But it could have been designed though. That when I look at that and they're like kind of mush rucking. When I see that, sometimes I'm just like, they're not trying to get to him. If that makes sense, because.
It does.
PFF will tell you that's a bad play for the D-line, but it's like you don't know what play maybe they're just trying to keep him in the pocket, make him throw that ball, make him beat you here.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But listen, the Giants' defense, Dan, their front four, obviously we know what they are. I don't love the defensive coordinator. I think we can do better because there's a lot of talent on that side of the ball. I don't like the schemes. They're not using Abdul Carter correctly. We saw this with Kayvon Thibodeau.
Yeah.
His first couple of years, it's not that he was bad because he's bad.
I'm just glad to see him on the field.
I know, that's true. But he was also being utilized incorrectly. They were dropping him back. I'm like, dude, this guy's a game wrecker. Let him he should be 100% going after the quarterback. And they're doing that with Carter a little bit too much. So I would like to see the coordinator go next year. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Even if he ends up giving up only 20 or 17 points a game, they could be better than that. I really believe that.
For me, it's too vanilla watching it. It's too vanilla. Like, you see so many when you have a premier pass rusher like Brian Burns and you have 2 that could be, move them around everywhere. Stop keeping them on the same spot. Put Brian Burns over the center like they've done with Myles Garrett and Micah Parsons. Get unique with it. You have to when you do that, you have to put a lot of trust in your back end. You definitely do. Yeah. But the rush complements the coverage. If you can get a pass rush, your corners will look like all pros because they don't have to bail so fast. They can, but you got to get unique up there, and I definitely agree with you. I think he's just calling a safe game.
Yeah, I think he just kind of going along for the ride with a talented defense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And because the Giants' defense has been pretty good this year.
They've been overall, the last couple of years. They've been good.
Yeah, for sure. But you nailed it. You hit the nail on the head. They're so vanilla and so predictable. Like you know when they're blitzing every time. Right? You know when someone's dropping back. It's just very, very easy to see coming. And that, to me, is on the DC. So, I guess we'll see how the rest of the year plays out. But the defense, I think they have a real chance to be a top 10 D. I
agree.
They might be close there already. But, yeah, I mean, that front four, that is a frightening front four.
It's scary. I do not I think we play you guys this year. I'm not looking forward to that. I'm not, because our offensive line is having issues. Real big issues. So how did it feel to bottle up Saquon Barkley as much as that defense did?
You know what, man? I move on from stuff like that very quickly.
Well,
I
let's put it in
I
a different tanks. Bottling up one of the best running backs in the league.
That felt great.
Yeah.
That felt great. I don't look at it like, oh, it's Barkley. We got him back, right? That's a loser mentality.
Exactly.
Like, we moved on, man. We didn't. And listen, by the way, the Giants, if they re-sign Barkley, that would be a huge mistake. They weren't ready to win.
And then the Eagles are paying him a ridiculous amount right now, too,
to
get 12 carries.
Right, yeah, I know. Exactly. The only difference is the Eagles were ready to win, so he was perfect for there. He was not perfect for the Giants, dude.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, listen, to do what they did, which is crazy if you think about it. His first 2 runs, one was for 18 yards. The other was for, like, whatever it was, another 15.
Yeah, he had like 32 or 36. Yeah, 32 or 36 yards within 2 carries. But he didn't get his third carry until, like, the second quarter.
I know. But you know what I was thinking, man, after those first
Buckle up.
Here we go again. And he ended up with, I don't even know what he had. I think he had, like, 50 yards or something.
Yeah, he had 12 for, like, 56, something, like, close. I know he had 12 carries, and I was talking to a buddy of mine last week because he only had, like, 8 or 10 or something, another low number. And I'm like, this is what are they trying to prove that Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback? Is that what is this what they're trying to do? Like,
I think because it's not like the Giants were dominating the whole game. They started dominating after the interception.
Yeah.
And that's when it really got, so he had plenty of time to run, Like if it was 20-0 in the first half, I could see Barkley having like a 55 day because now you got to pass. But this game was pretty.
Yeah, it was like
Giants
3 points at half.
Yes, and the Giants were losing in the first quarter. But the Giants did feel in control of the game the whole time.
Yeah,
but
they definitely did.
I mean, but that's, listen, I mean, they shut Barkley down completely. They flustered Hurts. It was just an amazing performance by that defense against a high-quality offense in the Eagles.
Yeah, I definitely agree because I thought when I was watching this game that the Giants were, even when the Eagles scored and they used the tush push 15 times to get 6 yards, that they were always in control of the game. They were always – it didn't matter if they scored because whenever they did score, the Giants went right back down and scored. And they were just playing the 2-clock game where it's like – and then once they got up, they were like, we're letting it loose. And then when – go ahead.
You mentioned the tush push. That's very interesting that happened in this game. So what's really like come to light in this game more – and I know it's been a topic already, banning it. Should it be illegal? What do you think of that? Do you think it should be banned or no?
I don't. I think the play needs to be banned, not because it's unstoppable. It's terrible to look at.
It is aesthetically unpleasing.
It's not. It's not
fun.
I also
think it's a problem because
they're jumping off sides.
You also have false starts every time.
You should be able to review that. You should be able to review pre-snap penalties. If it's clear as day as it is on the instant replay, and I think the NFL needs to get their heads out of their ass of being so old school that they don't want to. Why can't they just in the middle of the season be like, nope, this shit's out. This is on a primetime game. They run it 4 straight times when Amazon's paying them like $75 billion for this to be the product you're putting on the field. That's the whole problem. It's not that it's unstoppable. People have stopped it. It's just you had a player get hurt. So they were talking about, nobody's been hurt. Now you got a player hurt.
Yep, exactly. And yes, it's definitely aesthetically horrific to look at, but I think it's the false starts that are the real problem because the refs cannot see that. And that gives the Eagles a massive, because when do they run the tush push, right? 4th and 1.
When they muck everything up.
So it's not like a false start doesn't mean anything there. It's massive.
I bet you if a defense jumps off sides, they call it.
Every time. Every single time.
So you can see a defensive helmet, but you can't see a guard. You can't see a guard move, but you can see a tackle move. Let's make this make sense.
They do it on purpose. They probably have it set up to where you can't see from the side, right?
Why would you stop if they're not calling anything? Why would you stop?
Yeah.
I mean, they lost last week and they didn't have a single tush push. So apparently, if they run a single tush push, they'll win every game. But I think it's so just crazy. Like the NFL used the Green Bay Packers as a scapegoat to jump on it and take the fall because we don't have an owner that they can look at and belittle. And now everybody's like, ban it. And it's just, I don't have a problem with the actual play. If you officiate it correctly and you put into terms that you're able to review, you can challenge, if you can see that somebody jumped, you can challenge that as a I have no problem with pre-snap penalty thing because they review 12 men on the field. So why can't they review? Why can't they review false start?
Yeah, it's a good point. And you're right. I'm with you. I'm not mad at the play. Even though it's worked against us, it works against us every year because we play them. Yeah. We play them twice a year. I don't get mad at that. It's not like I'm like, oh, this should be banned because the Giants can't stop it or nobody can stop it. It's because the false starts. Like, that's a serious issue. And like you said, it just sucks to watch. But
It's
the
not
Eagles
fun.
suck to watch.
Yeah,
man.
well,
Eagles
take them.
are
I
a boring team.
tweeted out on Thursday, take the Eagles and the Chiefs off prime time. They're fucking boring. Take them out.
are.
Like, this is not fun to watch. Like, it's just not entertaining. We've seen this book before. This Chiefs team's been the same Chiefs teams that they've been the last 10 years. This Eagle team's boring. Like,
They really are, man. And, it's funny. The Giants have been a boring team to watch really since the decline of Eli back in, like, 2016 when he started going down. Out of nowhere, the Giants are a fun team to watch, man.
They are.
They are really – I think they're going to get a lot of primetime games next year, which is –
that was the most fun Thursday night game I've seen since I watched the Packers play the Commanders on Thursday night. That was like, because they really did, Thursday Night Football Prime did a really good job with that. Like pre-show and pre-game, showing off Lambeau, sitting in somebody's backyard while they do the Amazon show. Like, that was cool. And then this one, like, when it comes to the game, I had so much fun watching Jaxon Dart. I saw a kid out there having fun. Just having fun and playing football the way him and Cam playing football the way it's supposed to be played. And I'm really happy to see your first round rookie from like 2 years ago, Hyatt, finally get involved.
Yeah.
He can be a weapon.
Yeah, he can. And it's all about, and you know this with, your receivers and your quarterbacks, your 3 quarterbacks throughout your lifetime, right? It's all about the connection with the receiver. Maybe Hyatt just didn't connect well with Daniel Jones or Russell Wilson, but him and Dart might have something where they feel comfortable with each other. Like that
Age helps.
Yes, it does. Like that kid Humphreys, who was on the practice squad, right? The tall guy.
Yeah, 6'4", Lil Jordan Humphrey. Is it Lil Jordan or Lil John? Something like that. Lil Jordan. Yeah.
Lil Jordan.
He came to play.
Dude, well, you know what it is? He was playing with Dart all season or all preseason.
These things matter.
Squad guy.
These things matter.
And they have a connection. So we'll see what Hyatt does. He's a fast kid. He's a good deep ball receiver. So they might have something with him.
I definitely agree. And then the last thing with the defense that I wanted to hit on, because I think you're really good at all 3 phases. If you were to call a weakness out in your defense, do you think it's like your back end secondary? Because you got Javon Holland that's back there, that he's the leader probably of that like defensive back room.
Yeah.
I like Paulson Adebo too. I like him a lot.
Yeah, Adebo's a good player.
But they're all young and they just need to get mucked around a little bit. Need to kind of get some battle scars and learn. But I think that's the weakest point of that defense is just the secondary.
Yeah, there's no question about that. And it's really because they're young, like I said, they're still coming into their own. It's the position that takes the longest to adjust to from college. So I feel good about those kids. And listen, nothing makes a secondary better than a great pass rush, right?
Amen.
So as soon as Carter starts waking up and doing his thing, Dexter Lawrence always does his thing.
How about that interception a couple weeks ago?
Oh man,
how fun was that?
Oh, bro, it was hilarious because I don't think he's ever had an interception. And the way he ran, you could have played like comedy music behind it. It was so funny watching him run. And he just missed a touchdown. I was so mad for him.
I thought he was going to do the Michael Pierce, that Baltimore Ravens defensive tackle that got that interception against, I think, the 49ers or something a couple years. He just caught it and just went down.
Yes.
And I hate that after beating, because when you guys beat the Chargers, and they were undefeated at the time.
Yeah.
Crickets. From everything that I saw, like I didn't. Like, no, this team is actually for real, just Jaxon Dart's for real. I mean, it was a little bit, but it wasn't as big as you just beat who a lot of people thought were a top 5 team in the NFL. Pretty handedly, too. Like,
yeah. I think the Charger one was interesting because that was at 1:00.
Yeah.
So it was buried beneath the other 7 or 8 1:00 games. This game was prime time.
You needed
front
this.
And center. Everybody was watching. So, I mean, if you look at like NFL channels and websites, or like Jaxon Dart and Cam Scatterbo, they're like president and vice president of the NFL right now.
Yeah, they will be the king of New York if this success keeps going on. Because that was the biggest thing I was watching. I was like, this is good for New York, and it is. It couldn't have happened to a better. I don't like to talk down on a lot of fan bases, but when it comes to Philly, I don't care. It couldn't have happened to a better fan base where the Eagles lost on primetime and the Phillies got knocked out of the playoffs in the same night. Couldn't have happened to anybody better.
Yeah. No doubt. And, the one thing I'll add with Dart, he's a perfect fit for New York.
Yes.
I feel like, right? And it's interesting because
he's marketable. He's so marketable. So marketable. For the biggest market in football. He is he's going to be the poster child. And if he keeps playing well, he'll be right up there with Mahomes as face of the league just because of the market that he's in.
No doubt. And the last quarterback we had that was a good fit for New York was Eli for a different reason. Not because of marketability, but because he was mentally tough.
Yeah.
Right?
He could handle the media.
Handle the media. I think Dart is a good fit because he wants prime time. He wants the attention. He loves the media looking at him. So he's actually embracing this. Then you have Daniel Jones in the middle who hated all of that stuff. Hated it. That's why Daniel Jones is good. He's in Indy, killing it.
Yeah.
New York quarterbacks, you need to have a certain mentality. You do. It's much more than talent. Step number one is have that Eli Dart mentality where I don't care if it's New York. I'm good. I don't care what you say. And step number two is to have the talent, right? And I think Jaxon Dart, just, like you said, marketability, but also he loves the fact that he's in the spotlight.
Yep. He's playing for one of the marquee teams in all of the NFL. And, and I see you wearing the Lawrence Taylor jersey, LT. Yeah, the real LT. The real LT. That's the real one.
There's only one LT.
There's only one. So I'm hoping that one of these guys can turn it on and become one of those, Brian Burns or Thibodeau. Because just get back real quick what we were talking about with Abdul Carter. Every time I watched him, he was just kind of just in the guard. Not really trying to work a move or anything. Because he had a great preseason. You would have thought coming out of preseason, he was the next coming to Micah Parsons from Penn State. You would have thought. But he's good there. But let's have our final beer break here. Yes, cheers to you. Thank you again, sir, for coming on.
My pleasure, man. You got to get on our podcast too. We'll set that up in a couple weeks.
Whenever. Hey, we'll do it for, if anything, the Giants-Packers week.
Yeah, when do they play?
I don't know.
I didn't even know they played. Let's get that date because I forgot they were playing the Packers. It's got to be at least a month.
November 16th.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's in New York too.
Let's get you on. We'll get you on that week of the game. We'll preview it.
Perfect. Yeah, we'll do that. That'll be perfect. Well, I got a couple final things for you. How do you carry this momentum? What is your keys to this Giants teams taking the momentum of the last 2 weeks? You're 2-0 with Jackson under the Jaxon Dart era. How do you keep this up? Because you're going to have a 10-day break. How do you sustain this momentum going into the next week?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think Dable has to continue to be aggressive with Dart. Now, I'm not talking about just running and barreling into people, but play calling, right? Because Dart is going to make the mistakes, right? And what I don't want Dable to do, we were talking about it before.
Be hypersensitive about the mistakes. Exactly. It's going to happen.
Let him do him. Let him do him, right? So I think it's just being consistent with what they're doing now and not adjusting the game plan because Dart may be off that day, right? Just keep moving forward the same exact way they were. And just, again, Dart not making the crucial mistakes in a bad time.
Yeah.
Right? That's it.
That comes with experience, I think the best way of looking at this is to really stack success because success isn't just winning. And it's not linear, so you can't expect it to happen each week. If I was a Giants fan of Jaxon Dart and how I'd want to see him progress, it's okay. Let's maybe cut down the time of getting the ball out, move the pocket, but you still because what he does really well is keeps his eyes up. He doesn't put his head down when he's moving the pocket. He's still keeping his eyes up. Move and then learn how to slide. If you can a win, even win or loss, a win is getting out on the run and going down.
No doubt.
Don't take a hit. That's what Camp Scattable's for. That's what Camp's for.
Dude, you took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say, if just go down, let Scatabo get a yard because he's the kind of running back, even if he gets hit in the backfield, he's still going to get that yard for you, right? That's a huge, and I know you're a football nerd like I am.
Ridiculous.
Dude, you look at the small things like I do. That's so crucial to have a back that if the offensive line breaks down, instead of a 3-yard loss, you get a 1-yard gain.
Yep.
That's massive.
It's
right?
huge.
So, yes, I agree. Dart has to learn how to get down because he's like a daredevil, dude. It's you can't do that.
It's okay to slide. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Someone's got to tell him.
You're the franchise. You are the franchise right now. Yep. In 5-6 years, or probably in the way they're paying players now, in 3 years, you're going to be making $60 million a year. Learn how to slide now. Learn to slide when you're cheap. When you're free, when you're cheap labor. Learn to slide there. And then one last thing before we get you out of here. What's the big games you're looking forward to watching tomorrow?
What was it? I actually like the Colt game.
The Colts Cardinals, yeah.
Colts Cardinals is interesting. And then what was the 4:00 game that I liked? It was the Seahawks game.
Yeah, Seahawks. God, who are they playing? Raiders? No,
the Seahawks.
They're playing an AFC team.
Yeah. I gotta think about who they were.
I have it on my ticker here. It's just going too slow. I had a little ticker on here.
The Seahawks are playing. It was such a good. Oh, the Jaguars.
Yeah,
that's right. That's a good game.
It is. I think Seahawks handle them pretty handily. I don't think the Jaguars are there yet. I mean, they traded for Greg Newsome. It's not that I don't like the Jags. I just don't like Trevor Lawrence.
Agreed.
I just don't like him. I think they got a lot of. I think they're a very gimmicky team, and you don't win things when you try and be gimmicky and cute. It just doesn't work out for you. I just don't know if Trevor Lawrence is the guy. I mean, they got to win over the Chiefs, but again, the Chiefs aren't good.
No,
they're not.
They're not.
I don't know if you may agree with me on this. I don't see a single team that has played that I'm looking at like they're the most dominant team in the NFL.
Nope.
As it has been in years past. It's like last year we're like, oh well, the Eagles they're like Darth Vader. They're gonna come in and rain on your parade. But now I'm just like, I don't see it. I mean, my Packs have looked like crap the last 2 weeks. The Buff Bills just got beat. You guys just beat the Eagles. Baltimore's in the shitter. I mean, none of them are good.
Yeah, it's interesting. There really isn't a which I think is a good thing because now it's like, the last few years you knew what the AFC Championship was going to be. Mm-hmm. You knew more than likely the NFC Championship. Now, man, it could be anybody.
The gates are open. The gates are wide open. Wide open.
Somehow, you know the deal though, Eddie.
Yeah. The thing is,
get back again as usual.
You'll know how for me, I don't care how with the Packers being 2-1-1, I couldn't care if they were 1-3. I don't care how they play in September. I want to see how they play in December. End of November, December. That's when football matters. Nobody cares. But you can't crown champions in September. You can just get around with a win or two, but it's all still everybody figuring it out. No one's hurt yet. Apparently, really, you don't really have. You're not dealing with any injuries. But I just want to thank you again, Geoff, for coming on. I hope the G-Men keep winning. We have you on again, and keep talking, and just let the viewers know again where they can find the podcast, and it'll also be in the description down below.
Yep, it's Pathetic, the podcast. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, we're all over. We have the same tag for everything. So, yeah, definitely check us out and give us a follow.
Perfect. Go do it. And then to end the episode, let's have us finish off the beer breaks.
Yes, sir.
And then we'll salute. Everybody have a good weekend. We'll be back soon.